What's up, you guys? So it's Layla Lynn, and I'm back with another video. In this video, I wanted to talk about Karen Huger. We have the audio of Karen Huger giving her statement to the judge and her cast, the Real Housewives of Potomac cast, Wendy, Ashley, Jizzy, responding to her being sentenced to jail, becoming a prison mother in this video. And I also want to give you a tour of the jail that Karen is going to be staying in this video. So we're going to get into all of that in this video. But first, if you're watching, if you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. If you like this type of content, click the thumbs up button and share the video. And let's go ahead and get started. I think I want to start with the audio of Karen. And this is from the news station. They captured audio of Karen giving her statement to the judge. So let's start with that. And this is via Bravo by Gaze. Shout out to them.
I understand how lucky I am that I hit a tree. Thank God I did not hit a pedestrian.
Huger had been arrested 3 times before for drunk driving offenses. She told the judge today she plans to be a lifelong member of Alcoholics Anonymous.
I was spared because I have a responsibility to use my unique optic lens and teach others and affect quite possibly millions of people with the message of not drinking and driving.
Now, the defense had tried to keep Karen Huger from serving any jail time, asking if she could instead do home confinement. They had offered to have her do a handheld breathalyzer device where she would blow into it several times a day to prove that she was staying sober. But the judge pushed back on that, saying she needed to learn her lesson and serve jail time.
We need to help Ms. Huger break this dangerous and destructive pattern and at the same time protect the public.
Drinking responsibly, especially while taking medications.
The judge is just trying to protect the public. So in this video, I have the program at the jail, Montgomery County Correctional Facility. They have an addiction program, and I have a tour of that program. And I think all the judge wanted was her to do a program like this, like take rehab seriously. And the rehab she did outside of jail seemed too much like a spa to him. And so now this is the real rehab that I'm assuming they want her to do. So we're going to get into that. But first, I want to get into some reactions from her sentencing. So we'll start with Giselle and Andy. Apparently, Giselle and Andy were texting all day about Karen Huger's sentencing. Like they were on pins and needles waiting for the sentence to come down. And so once the sentence came down that she has to spend at least 1 year in jail and 1 year is suspended and a $2,900 fine. According to Giselle, her and Andy were texting like, oh my God. Oh my God. And she said, then it happened and we're both giving our feedback on it. She said, quote, one of the last things he said to me is, when the show started 9 seasons ago, never in my wildest dreams would I think that any of the ladies would be going to jail for 5 minutes, let alone a year. Now, mind you, this show started as like an etiquette show. Like it wasn't even in the Housewives franchise. It was a separate etiquette show. So, of course, he's not thinking that any of these women who are allegedly so classy and have so much etiquette, of course, he's not thinking that they would ever go to jail. But Giselle said, poor Andy, he has a right to his feelings. I can count multiple housewives who's had to go away. And Us Weekly reports that when Giselle was doing her stand-up show, she has like a 21 Shady Questions stand-up show. She reacted to it, and this is the same day that Karen was sentenced. And she said, I'm shook. This just happened today. I do not have her wigs. I am concerned. In all seriousness, I am concerned for her safety. Karen ain't cut out for jail. And I have to tell you guys, after seeing like a tour of the facility in their rehab center, I already felt like Karen should go to jail. But after seeing their rehab center, I feel like this is exactly where Karen needs to be. She needs to take this thing seriously. And I think she will be okay in jail. I feel like some of the women might take to her. Like she might Mother Goose the women in jail and really be the grand dame of Cell Block D. Like I think Karen is going to be just fine. But I also want to share with you Wendy's reaction to Karen being sentenced to at least a year in prison. Y'all know Wendy and Karen have their issues, but this is Wendy's reaction.
Today, 1 year. Have you ladies like been talking? How's she doing?
I have not spoken to her. She was taken into custody right after the sentencing, so there was no time for communication. But she continues to be in my prayers. This is, I'm sure, a difficult time, not just for her, but for her family. So all I can do is just uplift her in prayer and wish her the best during this time.
You and the other ladies have obviously been talking about it. How has everybody reacted to this news?
I think we were all shocked. Even though we knew that the sentencing date was coming, even though we've all seen the body cam footage, we did not think that this would be our reality, which is waking up today and Karen is behind bars. That doesn't seem real, and I'm still trying to digest it right now, but I still find myself at a loss for words.
For Wendy to be at a loss for words, that's rare. But a lot of people are just having a hard time, like she said, digesting it. I think so many people thought that it was either going to be suspended or she was going to be given another chance or just something different from actual jail time. Now, I also want to share with you Ashley's reaction. Ashley had a scheduled appearance on the Tamron Hall show. And so, of course, Tamron Hall asked her reaction to Karen being sentenced to 1 year.
Talk about the divorce. I do want to ask you about Karen Huger.
Yes.
You both started. You are the original part of the original cast members of the show. And Karen was just sentenced to 1 year in jail for the 2020.
And mind you, when they started on the show, do y'all remember Karen rightly telling Ashley that she wasn't a role model for her daughter? Karen's daughter, Raven. Ashley seemed like she was kind of taken to Raven. Maybe she wanted to spend time and hang out with Raven because their ages are not that far apart. And Karen being like, you are not a proper role model for my daughter. And now look at Karen. Look at Karen.
For DUI arrest. She had a 2-year sentence, 1 year in jail, 1 year was suspended. You've been friends. You've gone through ups and downs. You were there the very first season of this. I know you spoke briefly about it on the reunion show.
Mm-hmm.
What's your reaction?
I really do encourage everyone to keep Karen in your prayers. I really care about her. And I learned this on the train coming here today, and I cried like a baby. I did.
Before we talk about the divorce.
I'm sure a lot of people close to her cried. And I feel especially sad for her family, like her children and her husband, Ray. I feel especially sad for them. But when it comes to Ray, I saw a comment, saying that Ray can actually relax now. Like he can have a break for this year, the time that Karen spends in jail. Ray can probably relax because he knows she's not somewhere out drinking and driving. So y'all leave a comment. Let me know what y'all think about that. Is Ray actually part of him? A small part of him actually relieved that he doesn't have to worry about Karen this year. And another thing I want to briefly talk to y'all about. If y'all missed my video on Leandria Johnson, I'll put a link in the top right-hand corner. But she was arrested recently again for public drunkenness, not a DUI. I think her last DUI was in 2019, and she's been to rehab multiple times. And it seems like with Leandria Johnson, what has happened, even though we still see her getting arrested for public drunkenness, like now in February 2025, and then I believe in November of 2024, we don't see her getting DUIs anymore. So it seems like even though the rehab hasn't stopped her from drinking, at least it stopped her from drinking and driving. Like she's not putting other people in danger with her drinking anymore. And I kind of feel like, is that what we should hope for Karen? Can the rehab in jail at least stop her from drinking and driving, even if she still drinks on her own? What do y'all think about that? Y'all leave a comment. Let me know all your thoughts. Tell me everything. And so they do have addiction treatment as part of their mental health services program. And it's called JAS, Jail Addiction Services. And it's a comprehensive jail-based treatment program. And it is 8 weeks. So I feel like this will really help her get out of jail. If she was to do this program, this would help her get out. Because remember, the WeGo podcast tweeted that she has 30 days to appeal, but 90 days to ask the judge to reconsider. So on her appeal, I don't know how that's going to go, especially if she doesn't do this treatment program. I don't know how her appeal would go. But if she does the appeal and the appeal is denied, if she does this treatment program for at least 8 weeks, I think she'll have a better chance at the request to have the judge lower her sentence. But they say its treatment involves an 8-week educational phase and then an ongoing aftercare phase for as long as they are incarcerated at this facility. And the participants reside in therapeutic housing units separate from the general population. So that might entice Karen to do this program, being that it's separate from Gen Pop. She might be enticed to actually do this program, which seems like it would be really helpful to her. And I actually found a video from the jail explaining the program. Okay, so this is their jail addiction services. And the first step for her would be to admit that, yes, she does have an alcohol addiction.
Substance abuse program. This is a program dorm, and sentenced inmates receive diminution credits each month off of their sentence for participating in the program. Once you are medically cleared to move to general population, you must submit a request slip to sign up for a jazz orientation session.
So if Karen goes into this program, this jazz program for alcohol addiction, this is what her dorm would look like. This would be Karen's dorm, which doesn't look awful. Like the seats have cushions. It looks like she could hang out here. I feel like she's going to turn into like a prison mother. Like I feel like she's going to give Mother Goose to the other ladies in the prison too. So she's going to be like a prison mother. But I just think if she can go to rehab, which is what the judge seemed to want her to do, like take rehab seriously. If she can go to rehab, do this 8-week program, I think she might have a good chance of getting out after the 8 weeks if he approves her request to reconsider and lower her sentence. All right, you guys, so leave a comment. Let me know what you think about Karen's new home, her prison cell, where she'll be for the next couple months at least. Leave a comment, share your thoughts. As always, thanks for watching. Now, if you made it this far to the end of the video, then I think you like my content. So make sure you subscribe and check out my channel. I have over 1,000 videos on my channel. Check out my playlists and my podcasts, and I assure you, you will like more of my content.